Hello everyone, what is going on? It's Preacher Man Sports and welcome back to another video. This is my Arkansas versus Ole Miss Rebels preview. We're going to Oxford to play a rival Ole Miss Rebels. You already know how I feel about it because fuck Ole Miss, fuck Lane Kiffin, fuck their fans, fuck um, and fuck that state. I don't like anything about Mississippi. Mississippi State, at least they're a little more tolerable. But their cowbells are annoying. I can't even deny that. But Ole Miss is favored by 6.5 in this game, basically giving them almost a 75% chance that they would beat us. It's not going to be that easy. Like, look, let's look. Like, they have Austin Simmons, who's overrated. He's been playing solid, but the main point of their attack is that they like the vertical. So our secondary is going to have to be sticky and be ready in order to beat Ole Miss, because this is going to be a tough match. This is our first SEC matchup, and it's against a rival of Ole Miss. Like last year, they embarrassed us in Arkansas, beating us 63-31. That's the first time in like 20 years they beat us in on the hill. But now on this one, I don't know for this. It's hard to tell. Like their defense isn't that good. They struggled against Kentucky, who stinks, because they don't have Brock Vandegrift. He left, and then they signed what's his face? Zach Calzada, the former Aggie, and he's awful. I don't know how they kept it close in that game. They were beating Ole Miss at one point, like 14-0, and then they choked. But Arkansas, they've looked very good against Arkansas State and Alabama A&M. It's not the offense that I'm worried about. It's more so the defense, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't I don't think I'm a little worried about the defense, like mainly the secondary, man. Like I don't know how tick for tacky it is. Like it's not sticky. They're just like they're not good in man coverage. Like they're better when they're in zone. But I really hope they could, if they could take away the receivers, Austin Simmons is not gonna be good. And Ole Miss's offensive line, which isn't that good, is that the only thing for Ole Miss, their offensive line ain't good, and you know how in Arkansas. And speaking of which, they got a lot of former Arkansas Razorbacks on that team. They had Chris Paul Jr., but he went to the NFL, so not enough time for that. But they had Jalen Braxton, who was a former corner here for 2 years. He left, and now he's probably gonna play. They have Patrick Kudus, who's a bitch, by the way, and a fucking liar. Oh, I grew up not to like Ole Miss. That's the team I grew up not to like, and he fucking transfers there. And he sucks, by the way. It's too many blown assignments on the blitz, and he kept getting run over. And then there's Luke Haas, who wanted to say after he transferred there, he wanted to say, I thank God. God has chosen me to go to Ole Miss. God, don't bring God into this, okay? Because he didn't tell you to do that. What they did is that they gave you a huge bag that where you couldn't refuse. You couldn't refuse that bag, so you just went there, and he hasn't played a damn snap. So I'm like, see, grass isn't always greener, former Hogs. That's why I want to beat him, because Ole Miss fans, they want to try to make jokes saying, oh, Arkansas is just the AA affiliate of Ole Miss because recently a few guys have been transferred there. But okay, if we're the AA affiliate, why do we own you guys then? That is the first time you've beaten us in Arkansas in over 20 years, and you want to run your mouth. And then Lane Kiffin, his stupid fake injury shit that he did last year and the year before, where he'd be faking injuries so they don't have to do timeouts, because he was literally caught saying get down, but they fixed that now. He tampers in the transfer portal. Like, bro, that's all he does is transfer portal. He can't recruit. Why do you think he was so bad in Tennessee? Tennessee fans, he's the most hated guy when it comes to Tennessee. But yeah, it is what it is, though. But I don't know. It's just like there's just a lot of liars. That's why I want to beat Ole Miss. I hate these racist motherfuckers. I don't like their program. I don't like their coach. I don't like their fan base. Just no. I don't like that state. Just fuck Mississippi. We just call them Ole Miss. Ole Piss. But unfortunately, I think they're gonna beat us. Sadly, I pray I'm wrong. I like the offense. I think the offensive line is gonna be okay. The weapons though, the weapons are all right. I think the run in the game definitely needs to get a little bit better. I like what I'm seeing from Mike Washington, but Braylon Russell, man, he doesn't got burst. He's just a big dude. Um, Taylor Green has to be quicker reading the field because it seems like with the way he throws, dude, he throws a little slow. He can run. Oh yeah, he's a better runner than KJ, that's for sure. But he needs to be a quicker processor because it seems like every time I see him dump the ball off, it's always to a crossing route that's only about 3 or 4 yards deep. But if he could fix that, then I know we could beat Ole Miss. But if I had to come up with a score prediction with this game, I would say Arkansas would lose this game and Ole Miss would win this game by a score of 27 to, let's say, 20. It would be somewhat close. Arkansas will score a touchdown, but right when they need to stop, Austin Simmons runs for a first. He was injured, and he's a lefty, so these lefty quarterbacks you're gonna have to be careful because they're unorthodox. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Like, comment, subscribe, everyone. I will see you guys soon. Peace out. Go Hogs. WPS. And we'll see what happens on Saturday. Hopefully they could prove me wrong. Yeah.